So we are looking at a snapshot of the world from late January 2026. And honestly, looking at this stack of reports from TechWorld Bangladesh, I feel a little bit of whiplash. It's disjointed.
It is a chaotic mix, isn't it? You've got these incredibly high-level strategic moves happening in Silicon Valley.
Right.
And then you have, the gritty reality of infrastructure maintenance in industrial zones, and then the whole thing just turns off.
That's the feeling. It's this weird paradox. On one side, we're being told that artificial intelligence is about to solve, like, every problem humanity has ever had. We have tech giants throwing these incredibly powerful tools at students for free. And on the other side, I can't join a Teams meeting because the server is down.
That is the central tension of the digital age in 2026. I mean, we are building the roof of the house, the AI, the automation, all the magic, while the foundation is still prone to cracking. And this specific collection of stories from January 22nd captures that perfectly.
Okay, so let's start with the roof then. Shiny stuff. There was a massive update from Google, specifically regarding Gemini.
Right.
And for once, it wasn't about a new parameter count or some faster processor. It was about who gets to use it.
Exactly. Sundar Pichai dropped this announcement on X, which ironically is where all this AI news breaks these days. And the headline is simple. Students get Gemini for free.
All students?
All students. And we are not talking about some watered-down Gemini Lite version. This is the real deal.
Which sounds great on paper. I mean, look, if I'm a sophomore struggling with organic chemistry or trying to write a thesis, having a top-tier LM in my pocket for $0 is a dream.
Of course.
But I have to be the cynic here. Google isn't a charity. They don't just give away compute power, which is incredibly expensive, by the way.
Astronomical.
Out of the goodness of their hearts.
Yeah.
What's the play here?
You're right to be cynical. Compute costs are just...
Yeah.
Astronomical. Every time a student asks Gemini to summarize this PDF, a server farm somewhere has to spin up. Electricity is burned. Water is used for cooling. Right. Giving that away to millions of students is a massive financial line item. So you have to look at the why, and it's the classic habit formation strategy.
The old first one's free model, like a drug dealer.
In a way, yes. Think about the Adobe model or the Microsoft Office model from, the 90s and 2000s. You get the students hooked on your interface, your shortcuts, your ecosystem. By the time they graduate and enter the workforce, they don't just prefer your tool.
They need it.
They are dependent on it. They become your sales force inside companies. They'll walk into a job interview and ask, do you have a Gemini Enterprise license? Because that's how I work.
That makes perfect sense. It's ecosystem lock-in.
Yeah.
But is there a data angle, too? I mean, students generate a very specific type of data.
Oh, for sure.
They ask complex questions. They upload academic papers. They try to break logic puzzles.
That is the other side of the coin. Training data is the new gold. By opening the floodgates to academia, Google is potentially getting access to a massive stream of high-quality, intellectually rigorous queries and corrections.
So it makes the model smarter.
It helps refine the model for complex reasoning, which is exactly where these things sometimes struggle. It's a feedback loop. They give students a tool. The students make the tool smarter.
It also feels like a shot across the bow at the competition. The education market for AI was starting to get crowded. You had paid tutors, you had Chegg, premium ChatGPT tiers.
A lot of startups, yeah.
If Google just says ours is free, that kills a lot of those startups overnight.
It commoditizes that tutor layer of AI. It basically signals that high-level intelligence isn't a premium feature anymore. It's a basic utility like electricity or Wi-Fi.
So charging $20 a month for study help?
You're in trouble. Big trouble.
Speaking of trouble and competition, that brings us to the war of the bots. The sources from TechWorld Bangladesh describe this intense three-way standoff. It used to be just Google versus OpenAI, but now the battlefield is a lot more crowded.
It's become a legitimate arms race. The report explicitly highlights the dilemma users are facing. Which chatbot is best for my work? And that's a new kind of fatigue, right?
Holy.
2 years ago, we were just amazed the bot could talk. Now we're stressed about picking the right one.
I feel that personally. I have 3 tabs open at all times. I use one for writing, one for coding, and one because, well, I don't know, habit.
Yeah.
But the source mentions a third player ramping up specifically in early 2026, Meta.
Yes, Zuckerberg's empire. For a while, people kind of counted them out of the serious AI race because they were so focused on the metaverse.
Right, the whole metaverse thing.
But Meta has an advantage that Google and OpenAI don't quite have.
Which is what?
The social graph. They know who you are, who your friends are, what you talk about in private, what images you share. The source describes Meta posing a new challenge to the dominance of Gemini and ChatGPT.
So it's about integration.
Exactly. If they can integrate a high-level AI directly into WhatsApp or Messenger, which they've been aggressively doing, the friction just disappears. You don't have to go to a website to use AI. It's just there in the chat you're already having with your mom.
That's terrifying and convenient at the same time. But the report frames this as a fierce rivalry. What does that actually look like for us, the users? Are we just going to see features copied back and forth every week?
That's exactly what it looks like. Feature parity. One releases image generation, the other does it a week later. One releases student access, the others have to respond. But the danger here, and the source kind of hints at this, is the pace.
The speed of it all.
Yeah. When competition is this intense, safety checks can get streamlined. You rush to ship because you can't let the other guy own the news cycle.
So we're the beta testers in a global corporate war.
Essentially. And the distinct personalities of these bots are starting to blur. The source mentions users are stuck trying to decide. That paralysis is real. If the tools are all 99% amazing, the decision comes down to brand loyalty or ecosystem.
Do you live in Google Workspace? You use Gemini.
Do you live on Instagram? You use Meta. It's that simple.
It's funny, we talk about these clouds and virtual minds, but they all rely on something very physical. And this is where the stack of reports takes a hard left turn. We go from Silicon Valley strategy to a factory floor in Tangi, Gazipur.
I love this pivot in the source material because it grounds us. We are looking at a report about Fayez Ahmed Tayyab.
That's a mouthful.
It is. He's the special assistant to the chief advisor for the Ministry of Post, Telecommunications, and Information Technology.
Okay, try saying that job title 3 times fast.
It's a lot, but it's a crucial role. On January 21st, 2026, he pays a visit to the Bangladesh Telephone Industries Corporation. Now, be honest, when you hear Telephone Industries Corporation, do you think of the future?
No, I think of rotary phones, copper wires, and dust.
Yeah.
I think of the 1980s.
Exactly, and that is why this visit is so important. We get obsessed with the AI part of IT, but we forget the telecommunications, the infrastructure.
He's not visiting a software startup.
No, he's inspecting the heavy industrial backbone.
And the report details him inspecting the facility physically. It's not a Zoom call. He's there. Why does this matter in the context of the AI wars we just talked about?
Because latency kills AI. Bandwidth bottlenecks kill AI. You can have the smartest Gemini model in the world, but if the fiber optic cable running through Gazipur is damaged,
It's useless.
or if the switching station in Tangi is using hardware from 2010, that AI is useless to the person trying to use it in Dhaka.
It's the last mile problem.
It's the every mile problem. The visit signifies a government realization that you can't have a smart Bangladesh or a smart anywhere without robust physical utilities. These telephone industry corporations, they often manage the ducts, the poles, the rights-of-way for fiber.
They're the landlords of the internet.
They are the landlords of the internet.
It's such a stark contrast.
Yeah.
In one segment, we have code that can write poetry. In this segment, we have guys in hard hats making sure the cables don't rot.
And notice the level of the official sending the message. This is the ministry special assistant. It signals that the state sees this legacy infrastructure as a priority asset. They aren't scrapping it, they are inspecting it, likely looking to modernize it. You cannot build a digital economy on a crumbling physical foundation.
Which is a perfect and painful setup for the final story in this stack. Because sometimes, despite all the billions of dollars and the government inspections and the intense competition, the whole thing just breaks.
Microsoft outage.
The source is pretty blunt about this. It mentions a global outage of Microsoft 365 services.
Yeah.
And the word used to describe the user experience is suffering, which, it sounds dramatic, but
Is it dramatic? I mean, imagine you are a hospital administrator, a logistics manager, or just a freelancer with a deadline. You wake up, you try to log in, and nothing.
yeah.
The source lists the symptoms, emails refused to open, online meetings couldn't be joined.
Work speeds came to a sudden halt. That's the phrase that stuck with me, a sudden halt. We are not talking about a slow internet day. We are talking about the complete cessation of productivity.
This brings us right back to that fragility we mentioned at the start. We have centralized our entire working lives into a handful of platforms. Microsoft 365 is effectively the operating system of the global economy.
So when it catches a cold,
The world gets pneumonia.
and it highlights the difference between consumer tech and enterprise tech. If Instagram goes down, sorry Meta, I'm annoyed. If Microsoft 365 goes down, I can't invoice clients. I can't access my legal documents. I can't communicate with my team.
And think about the irony. We just spent 10 minutes discussing which super AI is better at writing sonnets. But we haven't solved the problem of keeping the email server running 100% of the time. The boring tech is still the single point of failure.
It really exposes how thin the ice is that we're all skating on. We feel so advanced, but one configuration error at a data center and millions of people are just staring at their screens, helpless.
It's a centralization risk. 20 years ago, if your email server went down, it was your server in your basement. You could go kick it. Now, the server is in a cloud managed by some unseen entity, and when it breaks, you have zero agency. You just have to wait.
That feeling of powerlessness is the worst part.
Yeah.
You just sit there refreshing Twitter or X, waiting for an update.
And that's where the cycle connects.
Yeah.
Where do you go to complain about Microsoft being down? You go to X. Who is scraping X to train their AI? Google and Elon Musk. It's all one giant, interconnected, fragile web.
So if we step back and look at this TechWorld Bangladesh snapshot from January 22, 2026, what's the big picture here?
The picture is one of uneven distribution. I think we have year 3000 software running on year 2020 cloud infrastructure, relying on year 1990 physical cables.
And we are the users caught in the middle. We're getting free superpowers from Google while simultaneously praying that our Outlook calendar loads.
Exactly. The takeaway for me is that we need to stop thinking of tech as this linear progression where everything just gets better every day. It's messy. The advancements in AI are outpacing the reliability of the infrastructure that supports them.
It also makes me think about that student strategy again. We are hooking a whole generation on these tools. But if the tools are reliant on a fragile cloud, are we setting them up for a massive failure?
That is the provocative question. If you train a student to rely on Gemini for critical thinking, and then we have a Microsoft-style outage for Gemini, what happens?
They can't do the math.
They can't do the thinking. If the outage isn't just, I can't send an email, but I can't access my external brain, the disruption isn't just economic, it's cognitive.
That is deeply unsettling.
It should be. We are outsourcing our cognitive load to servers that, as we've seen, can and do fail.
Well, on that terrifying note, I think I'm going to go buy a physical encyclopedia, or at least print out my contact list.
Not a bad idea. Analog backups are the new luxury item.
This has been a fascinating look at the landscape of early 2026. From the battle of the bots to the factory floors of Gazipur, it's clear that the future isn't just about code. It's about cables, competition, and keeping the lights on.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
Thanks for diving deep with us. Keep your apps updated, but maybe keep a pen and paper handy just in case. We'll see you next time.